It's time to talk about our butterflies. I have exciting news for you today. Um, they are starting to change to their next stage of their metamorphosis. They are starting their chrysalis stage or their pupa stage. So before I show you them, there's a couple things I just wanted to review with you. First of all, the caterpillar stage is considered a larva stage, and it comes after the egg. So the egg hatches into the caterpillar, which is also considered a larva. The caterpillar, as it grows, will eat and eat and eat, and that's pretty much all it does, and it grows very quickly. So I got these caterpillars on Saturday, and it's Friday, and they're already starting their chrysalis. Now, they were probably about a week old when I got them. So they are in their larva or caterpillar stage for about 2 weeks. Not quite, but about 2 weeks. And then they start to change into their chrysalis at that point. I also told you a couple facts about them. I told you that they ate mallow. These particular larvae eat caterpillar or eat mallow, which is the purplish plant flower with green leaves. So they take the green leaves and they mash them up, and they put them at the bottom of the caterpillar containers. That is what you see here at the bottom. That's mallow. Now, something I didn't mention to you when we were speaking last time was that you would start to see silk in the container. Now, it's a natural instinct for the caterpillar to spin silk. They do have what's called a spinneret, and they can spin silk. If you look closely, you can see some of the food attached to some of the spun silk. The reason why they spin silk, one of the reasons, is to create sort of an umbrella over them to protect them from rain. I read that a caterpillar can drown in 1 teaspoon of water. So, if it's a hard rain or, a downpour, then the caterpillar would have its silk umbrella to go under to protect from the rain. Another reason why they spin silk is, if you remember the video I showed you, they put a little tab of silk at the top on the branch outside, and then that's where they start to hang and form their J so that they can change into their chrysalis. So that silk is very important for that. They don't just form their chrysalis laying on the ground. They have to be hanging from a branch. Now, in this case, they're hanging from the lid of our container. I mentioned to you that they have little holes. The caterpillars had little holes going down the sides, and those holes are how the caterpillar breathes. They're called, what I call them, spiracles. And the spiracles are, they're spaced out. They're about 8 on each side. And that's how they breathe, which is pretty cool. Now, this is an insect. So it has 3 body parts. It has the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. And the thorax, I think I might have gotten these switched when we spoke last time. The head is first, then the thorax, and then the abdomen. So that when it becomes a butterfly, it will still have those 3 sections. It is an insect, and all insects have those 3 body parts: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. So we'll be looking at that once the butterflies form. But they did have those 3 parts whenever it was the larva stage. Now, another thing I mentioned was that it has bristles to help protect it from being swallowed by birds. What I did not mention to you was that as they grow, they are forming a new skin rather than like we grow, our skin sort of grows with us. The larva does not have that. It is more of a, like a snake, where when a snake grows, it sheds its skin. So same thing with the caterpillar. As it grows and gets too tight for its skin, it will shed that skin layer. And then once it hangs from that little dot of silk, it will shed its last skin, and underneath of it will be the hardened chrysalis. Pretty cool. Finally, before I show you what they look like right now, I do want to mention that at the bottom of the container, you will also see little green balls. Look closely. Let me see if I can move this around. Yeah, so like here. These are all little green. You see them here? So, you know, just like any other living thing, this is actually them here too. Once it eats, it does have to get rid of its waste. And that is just caterpillar waste. Yeah, so it has a name right there. The name of that is frass. It's spelled F-R-A-S-S. My son, who is 23, thought that was an interesting fact, that caterpillar poop is called frass. So yes, now you just learned a wonderful new word. So I do want to show you them before I go any farther. It's really cool to see what they're doing. The one right in the front here is actually in a chrysalis. You can see it's a little bit different colored. You can still see that some of the spiracles there, but you can see some shine happening on those bottom two, and you'll see more of that as it changes into the butterfly. Now the other three are hanging in a J shape. And I told you that once you see them hanging in a J shape, you know the chrysalis is coming very soon. They will be shedding their last skin, and they will be forming their chrysalis probably sometime today. So they tell you to wait about 24 hours after they've all changed into their chrysalis. And then you just take the lid off of this container. Look at that J, it's perfect. They're probably like, what's going on? Why is the world shaking? Although if they were outside, I'm sure the wind would blow them. But yeah, see that one over here? The one on the by itself is still moving a little bit. And they will move, to shed their skin, they will move. They have to move to shed their skin. But once they are, and I'll bring this chrysalis back around to you one more time. There it is. So cool. So once they form that chrysalis, they are sleeping. They are changing. Very cool. So yes, we will see how long it takes in their chrysalis stage to change into their butterfly stage. But I will probably over the weekend take this lid off and move it into their butterfly habitat. I don't know what that stick is. Parker, go. No, leave the caterpillars alone. I'll move their lid into the butterfly garden habitat. Take them completely out of their container, just lay their lid on the bottom of this, and then we will wait and see how long it takes for them to change into the butterfly. If you have any questions, you can always message me on Dojo. or even on Moby Max. Just send me a message and I will get back to you about it. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll hope by next week they'll all be in their new habitat waiting to change into the butterflies. All right. See you guys.